Welcome to another history video. Using this video, you are going to use your investigative skills and you will learn some interesting information about Joseph Clough. Should we do a little prediction here? On top of his name, which is Joseph Clough, there are some pictures. What can these pictures tell you about him? Have a little think. Let's learn together. The first question is who? So who was Joseph Clough? Joseph Clough was London's first black bus driver. So his job was a bus driver. He was known to his family as Joe. Let's learn some more about him. The next question is when? So when was Joseph Clough born? Well, he was born in 1887, which was towards the end of the 19th century. He was orphaned when he was very young, which means that both his parents died. He died in December 1976, so towards the end of the 20th century. He was 89 years old, so he lived a full and long life. Have a close look at his beautiful picture. Another question is where? Where was Joseph Clough born? He was born in Jamaica. Jamaica is an island in the Caribbean Sea. He moved to Britain when he was 19 years old, so he was quite young. Here we have a picture. Now, in our present day, if you were to travel from Jamaica to London, it would take you 9 hours by plane. Well, when Joseph Clough was 19 years old, he probably had to travel by a ship, and it would have taken him weeks to get to London, perhaps months. He drove buses around London as his job. His bus was the number 11. So he was born in Jamaica, but he moved to London where he worked. Another question is what? We are going to be talking about the mode of transport. Joseph Clough first started driving a horse and carriage, but he soon learned how to drive motor vehicles. He drove a motor bus, which was fueled by petrol. He drove buses around London, but when it came to the First World War, he volunteered and he drove a bus in France. Another question is why? So why is he important? What amazing things did he achieve? Well, not only was he one of the first bus drivers to train how to drive motor buses, he was also the first African American bus driver in London. And it was quite interesting because at the time when he started to learn how to drive a motor bus, there were still horse and carts, horse and carriages on the road, as you can see in the first picture. There is a horse and cart, and there is a man driving it. But here you can see a wheel of a motor car. On the right, we can see a picture of Joseph's bus with the number 11 on it. So it was an interesting time where the world was slowly moving towards using motor vehicles for transportation. And Joseph Clough was one of the first drivers who could operate a motor vehicle. Our last question is how? Joseph Clough was London's first black bus driver. Being the first in anything is significant, and being one of the first ones to train how to drive a bus, a motor bus, is exceptional. He was the first one in London to be trained to drive a motor bus. He drove a bus in London at a time where horse-drawn transport was still present. This meant that there were carts with horses and motor vehicles on the road at the same time, as you can see in this picture too. Can you see the horse and carriage? And next to it and behind it, there are motor cars. Isn't that just wonderful? So this would be in the beginning of the 20th century. Joe once said, "We got a lot of trouble from horses on the road. When they heard the bus engine, they used to shy and kick like Billy Ho." Well, I would be scared of a motor bus if I were a horse. Well, this was our information about Joseph Clough. Thank you.